Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, Cantrolani.
Thank you.
Let's do this again.
Shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to Temple Akiba of Culver City. We're so glad that you're with us for our Shabbat morning service. Not just any Shabbat morning service, but the one during which Sienna is becoming a bat mitzvah. How wonderful to be together. How wonderful to be together, to see you. Such a strange journey we've been on in the past year and a half. And while it may not be what anyone envisioned when choosing this date, I personally feel so fortunate to be in the same space as other souls, and specifically with you, Sienna, and your wonderful family. Friends, my name is Rabbi Zach Shapiro, and I welcome you. I welcome you to this holy space as we begin our service. You all should have received a blue prayer book. If you did not receive one, or if you can't find one of Sienna's classmates can help find one for you, but I think we're all set here. And we'll be using this prayer book as a journey to guide us through our service. We're going to ask that you please take a moment to make sure your cell phones are turned off and keep them away. We have a professional who will be taking photos during the service so that we don't need to. For those of you who are here via Zoom, we welcome you. You're part of what makes this community holy as well. And we encourage you throughout the service to share in the chat box a word or a something specifically for Sienna, maybe a reflection on how you know her or where you live. And there may be times through the service where the cantor and I weave your words into the liturgy. So again, I'm Rabbi Zach Shapiro, Cantor Lonnie Freyla. Cantor, do you want to speak about our music?
I would love to. So this morning, Sienna will be leading us through most of our prayers, and the rabbi and I and our cantorial intern will also be helping as well. And we invite you to participate and to sing along with us as much as possible. We'll announce the page number so you can follow in our prayer book. Even if you don't know the words, just sing la la la. But we want to hear you. For those that are at home on Zoom, we can still see you on our screen over here at times. And so we invite you also to participate. If you don't feel comfortable singing at home, sway to the music. And there's some times that we'll be able to do some hand motions as well. So as much as we can engage in this service, engage in the music, we are showing our love for Sienna.
We're going to begin with the singing of Hine Matov. How wonderful it is that we're together as a community. It's on page 70 of our prayer books. 70, everyone.
Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Sienna, we're going to ask for you now to come forward along with your parents, Rachel and Brad, for the presentation of the Talit. We're on page 72.
You hold it. Oh my God. You hold it like that. You hold it right there. You hold it right there. As I wrap myself in the talit, I fulfill the mitzvah of my Creator. Bless Adonai, O my soul. Adonai, my God, how great you are. You are robed in glory and majesty, wrapping yourself in light as a garment, spreading forth the heavens like a curtain. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehitatef batzitzit. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes.
We've got a program here at Temple Akiba called the Golden Chai Award Program. And we present it to our young people who have gone above and beyond the studying of prayers and the writing of a speech and the preparation of Torah and Haftarah. We award it to those who have shown what it means to be a responsible adult in the community. They greet people to Shabbat services, they come to Torah study, they do hours of community service, they prepare Shabbat meals for family at home. Sienna, you did all of this with such depth. But there's one area that really touched my soul, in addition to your participation at Torah study. And that was your outreach to members of our congregation who have been going through life moments. You wrote a letter to Sarah and Jake, who just got married. And you wrote a letter of Mazel Tov. You wrote a letter to one of our members, the Zwang family, who just lost a family member. And they so appreciated that. You also wrote a letter to members called the Forshites, because they've been going through some battles with their health. Each and every one of those people that you wrote to were so appreciative that you made the time on behalf of Temple Akiba to do a check-in. That's what it means to be a responsible Jewish adult. And your soul made their souls that much better. And so on this day of your bat mitzvah, we present you with the Golden Chai Award.
Thank you.
May this always be a sign of that gold that is inside of your soul. Everyone wish her a Mazel Tov! Congratulations!
Thank you.
And Sienna, just a moment ago, for the very first time as a Jewish adult, you put on a talit. And so there's a blessing that accompanies this in addition to the one that you shared, and that's the Shehechianu. It's in our prayer books on page 344, 344. This thanks God for giving us life and sustaining us and enabling us to be right here, right now.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehachianu v'kimanu v'higianu b'zman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehachianu v'kimanu v'higianu b'zman hazeh.
We continue now on page 84, page 84, with a blessing called a Nisim. It means miracles. Every day we can capture miracles, and our prayer book gives us a head start. So Sienna will chant each one, and we will respond by singing Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tselem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani bat chorin.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gvora.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael v'tifara.
Amen. We continue now with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 106.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach yirutei ve'yamlich malhutei.
B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael.
Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, ve'imeru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach, le'olam u'olamei omaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yivdomam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudasha, brihu, le'elamin kol birchata v'shirata,
Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma.
ve'imeru,
Amen. Our formal call to worship is the Baruch Hu. It's on page 108. Once again, for those who are home via Zoom, we encourage you to share words in the chat box, just a thought or a special prayer that you want to give to Sienna, and Cantor and I may weave your thoughts in throughout the service. So again, page 108, we ask you to please rise, everyone.
Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. On page 110, we continue with the prayer of creation, the Yotzer Or.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or uvrei choshe, Osa Shalom uvrei et hakol, Hami ir la'aretz, v'ladarim aleha barachamim, uvtumo mechadesh bechol yom tamid, ma'aseh v'reshit, ma rabu ma'aseha Adonai, kulam bechoma asita, melah ha'aretz kinyaneha, tit barach Adonai Eloheinu, al shava ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al me'orei or shihasita, yafa'arucha selah, or hadash al tzion ter, v'nizkeh hulanu mehera le'oro, baruch atah Adonai, yotzer hamorot.
Continuing now with the watchword of our faith, the Shema Yisrael, we're on pages 114 and 115.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated, everyone. Sienna continues with the V'ahavta. We're on page 116.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom Al Levavecha Veshinantam Levanecha V'dibarta Bam V'shivtecha B'veitecha Uvleftecha V'derech Uvshoptecha Uvekumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'chayula totafot bein einecha, uchtaftam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tiskeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hitzem kedoshim lelochehem, ani Adonai Elohehem, Asher hotzeati etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lehiot lachem lelohim, ani Adonai Elohehem.
Amen. So Marie Trapnell has shared for you, Sienna. She says, Sienna, you are a ray of sunshine in this world. How beautiful. Thank you for sharing
Thank
that
you.
that message of love. We're going to continue with a very special prayer. It is a combination of the Micha Mocha as well as the Miriam song. We're going to ask you to open to page 342. And though we're not going to be dancing around this space, we need your ruach, your enthusiasm, to lift the tent with your hearts as we enjoy the song sung as the children of Israel crossed the Sea of Reeds. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every thread and every strand she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances toward the light. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. As Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the seas, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei pelech, nora tehilot osei pelech. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Before continuing, a couple of more prayers that are sent from people's homes. From Natalie Marsden, Mazel tov on this special day, Sienna. We love and miss you so much.
And from Glenn Berenbaum, Mazel Tov, Sienna.
And from Steve, Sienna, you're doing an amazing job. We're so proud of you, young lady. Love, Aunt Mindy and Uncle Steve.
And from Susanna Skura, Mazel Tov, Sienna.
Oh, thank you for all those blessings from home. We are going to continue with the Amidah section. It is back in our prayer books, beginning on page 124, page 124, and we ask all once again who are able to please rise.
Do I do the whole thing all the way through? Huh? Even the Kedusha? Okay. Adonai sefatai tifta ufia gitechilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Velohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Velohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'hanora El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim Vekonei Hakol Vezocher Hasdei Avot Ve'imachot Umevi Geula Livnei V'nechem Leman Shemo Be'achava Melech Ozer Umashia Umagen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei Kol Atah Rav Lechoshia Mechakiel Chaim Bechesed Mechayei Kol Berachamim Rabim Zomech Noflim Berofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Bal Givurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechayei Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah lecha chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei hakol Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam Keshem shmakdishim o tobi shmei marom Kakatuv al yad neviecha Vekara ze'el ze ve'amar Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Tzevaot Melech ha'aretz Kevodo Adir, Adirenu Adonai Adonenu ma'adir Shimcha behu ha'aretz Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo Echad hu Eloheinu Hu Avinu Hu Malkeinu Hu Moshienu Yehu Yashmienu Berachamav le'enei kol chai Ani Adonai Elohechem Yimroch Adonai le'olam Elohai Zion Ladorvador Hallelujah. Oh, right, sorry. Lador Nagid Gad Lecha Ol Netzach Netzachim Kedushat HaNakdish V'shivha Eloheinu Mipinu lo yamush Le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Sienna, why don't you come stand with your family? Take a deep breath again. You're doing such an incredible, incredible leadership job. Friends, we're going to take a moment for our own silent prayers. We can use our liturgy in the prayer book as a guide between pages 132 and 142. We can also just take a moment to really look deeply into our own hearts. When you're finished with your own private prayer, please be seated. We'd like to ask all of our Akiba youth to come forward to stand in front of the podium for our Song of Peace. Scarlett, that's you also, and Sienna, yes. So this song involves some hand movements, and we invite everyone here or at home to please follow along with your hands. You can close your books for now because these words are not in the books. Beside me and be my friend. Together we will walk in the path of Hashem. Thank you all very much. Have a seat again. No, but you stay here, Sienna. Sienna, we love looking at the eyes of everyone who is here just watching you lead the service. And we love looking at the faces and the smiles of those watching on Zoom. The eyes can't stop beaming. The faces can't stop smiling. Wow, just wow. You're about to enter the next level of this service. You are akin to our leader standing at the base of Mount Sinai. And not only will you bring Torah down to us, but you're going to lift all of us up to Torah to help us understand these ancient words through insights and wisdom that you've had since the moment that you were born. And this is exciting for all of us to be part of. We have the honor now of calling forward Dennis, Burris, and Julie, and Mike and Madison Early to come forward to open the Ark. And we're going to invite those in the congregation who are able to please rise once again. We're on page 244. Careful of the wire. Careful of the wire here. Hi, everyone.
So when they tell you, you just open the
So, pull it over. Yeah, pull. Yeah, there we go.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kema'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Av harachamim hitiva virtzonecha et Zion. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Kivecha levad batachnu. Melech el ram venisa Adon
Thank you so much. Go back to your seats. Thank you so much. Watch the wires here.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah. Udevar Adonai mirushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
We now invite forward, representing the chain of tradition. And when we invite you, we're going to ask you to stand on this side of the podium. It's a little bit easier. So we're going to invite forward Sienna's Papa, Arthur, and Cheryl Skura to come forward, as well as Rachel and Brad. And Scarlett, we'd like to join you as well. So Grandma and Grandpa right here, right in the middle, and face that way. Yeah, there we go. Dad and Mom in the middle. There we go. Ladorvador, from generation to generation, there we go, Brad. Okay. From generation to generation, our Torah has come down as a treasured conversation. Not a conversation to keep inside of us, but one to share and one to discuss and struggle with. Today, Sienna, this conversation is entering your arms and your thought process, that someday you may ascend to a place where you can hand it down to your son or daughter as they become bar and bat mitzvah. Ladorvador. Kedushatcha Nahakdish.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu Adonai iti yeromema shemo yachdav.
Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed. Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gimilut chasadim. Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gimilut chasadim. Please be seated, everyone. We wanted to welcome our cantorial intern, Liz Baseman, who is with us. Liz, it's so great to see you. Shabbat Shalom. We're about to call up a number of people for an aliyah, a spiritual and physical ascent. And when you come forward, you'll be standing at the podium where the cantors are. There is a sheet there that has the words on it. And when we invite you up, you'll offer the blessing before and then be there while Sienna chants, and then you'll offer the blessing after. So for our first aliyah, we invite Stacy and Jason Zedek, Ya'amdu Sarah Bat Alter V'Sara, V'Yehuda Pinchas Ben Shlomo HaKohen V'Masha Edel.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Baruch Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Elech Toldot Noach, Ish Sadiq, Tamim Haya Bedorotav, Et HaElohim Hitalech Noah, Vayoled Noach, Shalosha Vanim, Et Shem, Et Ham, Et Yafet.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. Thank you so much. For our second aliyah, we invite forward Molly and Ella Zedek. Ta'amdu Miriam Fega Bat Yehuda HaKohen V'Sara Esther Gila Bat Yehuda HaKohen V'Sara.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vatishach ha'aretz lifnei ha'Elohim, vatimalei ha'aretz Hamas. Vayar Elohim et ha'aretz v'hinei nishchata ki hishit kol basar et darko al ha'aretz.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. Thank you so much.
That was loud. can't whisper anymore.
For our third Aliyah, we invite forward Sam and Minde Skura, Ya'amdu Shmuel ben Altor v'Sara, v'Malka Sara bat Yaakov, Dov v'Shlomit Etel.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Right. Vayomer Elohim leNoach Kates kol basar ba'lafanai ki male'ah ha'aretz chamas mipneihem v'hineni mashkitam et ha'aretz aseh lecha tevat aseh gofer kinim ta'aseh et ha'teva v'chafarta ota mibayit umichut bakofer.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yesher Koach. Thank you. For our fourth Aliyah, we invite forward Adam, Stephanie, and Joey Skura, Ya'amdu Leib Avram ben Shmuel v'Malka Sara, v'Layabatia bat Shmuel v'Malka Sara, v'Ephraim Erez ben Shmuel v'Malka Sara.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'zeh asher ta'aseh ota shalosh meyot ama orech hateva chamishim ama rochba ushloshim ama kolmata Zohar ta'aseh lateva ve'el ama techalena milmalach ufeta hateva betzida tasim tachtim sheni'im ushloshim ta'aseha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yesher Koach. Thank you so much. For our fifth Aliyah, we invite forward again Arthur Skura, Ya'amud Alter ben Shmuel.
Baruch hu es Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'nasan lanu et Toraso. Baruch Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Good job. Va'ani hineni mevi et hamabul mayim al ha'aretz leshachet kol basar asher bo ruach hayim mitachat hashamayim kol asher ba'aretz yigva Bechakimoti et briti ita uvata el hateva ata Vanecha ve'ishtecha unshevanecha ita.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu et Torato, et Torah emes, v'chayei olam notah b'silchenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. Thank you so much. For our sixth Aliyah, we now invite forward Rachel and Brad and Scarlett. We'd like you to come up as well. Ta'amud Rachel ben Bat Alter V'Sara. And you guys can be right over here. Come over near Sienna.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Umikol hahai, mikol basar, shenayim mikol, tavi el hateva, lechachayot ita, zachar unkeva yihiyu, mechaof leminehu, umicha behema lemina mikol, remes ha'adama leminehu, shenayim mikol, yavo'u elecha lechachayot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. Why don't y'all stay right here? That's fine. Ta'amud. Habachura habat mitzvah shira bat Rachel. We now invite Sienna Burris for her Aliyah.
Oh, I don't need that. Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ve'ata kach lecha mikol ma'achal asher ye'achel ve'asafta elecha ve'haya lecha ve'lachem le'ochla vayas Noah kechol asher tziva oto Elohim kain asai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. Wow.
Thank you.
I'm going to step in here for a second. We want to show you what Sienna just shared from Torah so beautifully. So as we lift the Torah, we're going to ask all who are able to please rise. Zot HaTorah asher shar Moshe livnei v'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. lai 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 lai, ya lai 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 lai, ya lai la lai lai la lai lai. Ya lai lai lai, ya la lai 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 lai. Ya lai 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 lai, ya lai lai lai. Ya lai lai lai, lai 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 lai. Please be seated, everyone. La la la. Sienna, come over here. It's a little bit less shiny over here. You're going to stand here for your Haftarah. Sienna so beautifully just shared from the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible. She's now going to continue with the Haftarah, a section from the prophets. And this week, the Haftarah portion comes from the prophet Isaiah. She'll begin with the blessing beforehand and then go right into the section itself.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar binviim tovim veratza v'divrechem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Habocher b'Torah uv Moshe avdo uv Yisrael amo unvinviei ha'emet v'tzedek. Roni akara lo yalada pitchi rina vetzachali lo hala ki rabim b'nei shomema mi b'nei ve'ula amar Adonai harhivi mekom acholei Viriot mishkenotayich yatu al tachzohi harichi mitarayich vitetotayich hazeki ki yamin usmol tifrotzi vezarech goyim yirash ve'arim neshamot yoshivu al tir'i kilo tevoshi ve'al tikomi kilo tachpiri ki voshet alumech tishkahi vezerpat almenutayich lo tizkeriod ki vo alayich osayich Adonai tzevaot shemo vego al eich kadosh Yisrael Elohei kol haaretz yikarei ki cheisha azuva va'atzuvat ruach kera'ach Adonai ve'ashet neurim ki tima'es amar Elohayich berega kato azavtich uvrachamim gedulim akabtzech beshetzef ketzef he's tartif and I rega mimech uvhesed olam richamtich amar go alech Adonai Kimei Noach Zot Li Asher Nishbati Me'avor Noach Od Al Haaretz Kein Nishbati Miksof Alayich Umig Orbach Ki Heharim Yamushu Behagvaot Temutena Bechasti Meitech Lo Yamush Uvrit Shalomi La Nope, that's not right. Is it right? It is? Oh, sorry. Uvrit Shalomi Lo Tamut Amar Merachamech Adonai Ania so ara lo nuchama hine anochi marbutz bapuch avanaich bisatich basapiri vesamti kadho chimshotaich ush araich leavne ekda vechol gevule leavne chefetz Bechol banaich limudei Adonai Berav Shalom banaich Bitzdaka tikonani Rachaki me oshek Kilo tirai Umim chita Kilo tigrav Alaich Kain Gor Yagur Efes meoti migar itach alaihi pol hine anohi barati tarash no feyach beish pecham umotzi cheli lemaasehu ve'anochi barati mashchit lechabel kol keli yutzar alayich lo yitzlach bechol hasham takum itach lamishpat tarshi zot nachalat avdei Adonai vestikatam mi'iti ne'um Adonai. Oh my God.
Wow. So, hold on a second. Before you offer your blessing after that incredible chanting, we've got some candy that's being passed out, I think. So we've got a couple of baskets of candy. All of you will have a chance to collect it, but you're not eating it because once Sienna has completed her blessing after the Haftarah, you'll all have the opportunity to gently toss it. You guys hear me? Gently toss it onto this bima area as a show of affection and joy that you're experiencing. And once you've thrown it, after she's finished with her blessing, those of you who are young at heart can certainly come forward and pick it up. Are you ready?
Yeah. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Sor kol haolamim Sadiq bechol hadorot Ha'el ha'ne'eman Ha'omer ve'osei Ha'medaber u'mekayem Shekol devarav Emet v'tzedek Al ha'torah Ve'al ha'avot. Wait, nope. Oh, yeah, sorry. So many mistakes. Ve'al ha'neve'im, ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha ve'limnucha, lechavod u'letifaret, al hakol, Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, umvarchim otach, yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol hai, tamid leolam va'ed, baruch ata Adonai, mechadesh chashabat.
Everyone come pick the candy up.
Is there one? No, there's not. Thank you.
Yeah, you did a really good job.
I need a yellow one. I need a yellow one. No. I know. I want a yellow one. Here, you can take this one. Here, do you want one? No? Okay. Oh. Here. There's one back here. You can take it. Ryan. Okay, nope. Just put this in here. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Do I just leave this right here?
There's an incredible feeling of goodness and joy that we're all experiencing. And we want to take that energy and shift it. Shift it from the joy inside to the strength that we all possess. And so it's appropriate at this time in the service that we offer a prayer for healing. Again, to take our energy and to channel it to thinking about those who could use an extra blessing. Back in our prayer books on page 253, page 253, in the middle of the page, is our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. We're going to sing this prayer together, and when we get to the center, as my eyes meet yours, perhaps there are people on your minds who could use an extra prayer today. Healing, hope, and love. Share those names out loud. Share them out loud so we can hear them and so we can continue to pray together.
Sheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Sheberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And let us say Amen.
As we prepare to place the Torah, there we go. Thank you so much. As we prepare to place the Torah back into the ark, we are going to ask Scarlett if you'll please come forward. And joining you, let me pull my note up again. Oh, it needs my face here. There we go. So joining you, Lillian, of course, your cousin, to come forward. And we invite the congregation to please rise.
tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom.
It is a tree.
Shalom, shalom.
It's not a bush.
Shalom, shalom.
The tree of life.
Shalom, shalom. Eitz chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomchecha me'ushar. Eitz chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomchecha me'ushar. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.
Please be seated, everyone, except for Sienna. Come and talk to the cantor for a second. And Sienna, you're going to do your speech from here.
Shabbat Shalom and welcome to my bat mitzvah. I am so happy that you are all here to join me on this special day. Whether you traveled from far away, traveled from your house 10 minutes away, or you are joining us on Zoom, I am so grateful to be celebrating my bat mitzvah with you all. Becoming a bat mitzvah is no piece of cake. There is much hard work and preparation, but there is also so much meaning behind it. When a 13-year-old girl becomes a bat mitzvah, she is seen as a Jewish adult in the eyes of her community. As I've been preparing for this day, I have seen Judaism with new eyes. When I was little, I thought Judaism was people who live in Israel, read from the Torah, celebrate Jewish holidays, and eat challah. Now, I have a deeper understanding that Judaism is about community and tradition. After today, I will be responsible for embracing my new role as a Jewish adult by stepping out and helping out my family when I am needed. Becoming a bat mitzvah also means taking responsibility for my own actions, considering the needs of others, remaining active in my community, and carrying on the Jewish traditions. My Torah portion this Shabbat is titled Noah. It is from the book of Genesis, the first book in the Torah, and it tells the story of Noah's ark during the flood. When God told Noah that a major flood was coming, Noah decided to build an ark and put all the animals on it to survive during the crisis. Noah, his family, and all the animals had lived on the ark for 40 days and 40 nights, and then after the rain stopped, the passengers had to wait additional time for the water levels to go down. When a dove was sent out of the ark, it brought back an olive branch, which symbolized that the waters were low enough for there to be a dry tree branch. The olive branch is also a symbol of peace, so it was a signal to Noah that the world was safe once again. Noah and the animals ended up staying on the ark for a year and a half. A rainbow appeared at the end of the flood, and that was God telling Noah that they would never create a disaster like that ever again. Just like Noah's story, I believe there is a rainbow waiting at the end of this pandemic for us. COVID-19 has made for a tough year and a half, but I am optimistic that we can begin to see that rainbow at the end of some very gray skies, as we now have access to safe vaccines and we are all here together today. It was Noah's acts of tikkun olam, which means repairing the world, that saved the animals and allowed them to see the rainbow at the end of such darkness. Like Noah, I too believe in the importance of tikkun olam. For my bat mitzvah community service project, I decided to partner with the Culver City Backpacks for Kids program and run a book drive because I love reading so much. My hope was that other people who enjoy reading like me would be able to access great books. I collected books from all over Culver City, sorted them by age, grade, and reading level, and I passed them out to families who did not have enough money to buy books for their kids. I would like to believe that I played a small part in repairing the world around me with my book drive, and that everyone here can practice tikkun olam in their own way as well. Our world is in need of repair, and even the most simple acts of kindness can make a big impact on someone's life. Judaism is a big part of my life, and I want to share some of what I personally do to practice it. I have attended Hebrew school since first grade, and I've truly enjoyed learning about my religion as well as sharing it with others. Outside of my Hebrew school class, there are not many Jews at my middle school. Because of this, not many people know much about Judaism, and sometimes I have the chance to teach my teachers and classmates about it. There were even times when my 6th grade social studies teacher asked me to teach her about a topic in Jewish history after school, and this made me proud. Additionally, I also love the celebrations. I have many Shabbat dinners with my family, and I love eating the yummy food and celebrating Jewish holidays. I hope that Judaism will always be a part of my life. There are many special people that have guided me through this journey that I would like to thank. Bear with me, I have a lot of thank yous. First, I would like to thank the Sisterhood for the beautiful Kiddush cup and the men's group for the Tanakh. Next, thank you to Liz Baseman, Randy Bischoff, Robin Altman, and all my Hebrew school teachers for giving me a religious school experience I will never forget and for preparing me for this day. I certainly can't go without thanking Cantor and Rabbi. Cantor Lonnie, thank you for teaching me all the prayers I needed for today, as well as guiding me through my Torah and Haftarah portions. I really enjoyed our sessions, and you had some magical way of making it easier to learn my verses. Thank you to Rabbi for helping me understand my Torah portion and for helping me frame my speech. You are an amazing leader at this temple, and I'm so glad to have you as my rabbi. You also married my parents, which is pretty special. Thank you to all my friends for supporting me in everything I do. It's good to know that I can count on you, and I can always be myself around each and every one of you. I especially want to thank my grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. To my cousins, I'm beyond grateful that we have all grown up so close. To Nana and Papa, lost my spot. You have played such a big role in my life, and I love how you are so interested in everything I do. To Grandpa, we always have a great time together, and you are very fun to be around. To my aunts and uncles, I love the special bond that we all have. Now to my little sister, Scarlett. I want to thank you for making me laugh and smile when I need it. You are so sweet, and I enjoy our TV sessions together when you don't spoil shows. I would like to thank my favorite furball Zoe for giving the best snuggles and wet kisses, and for always being the best listener. Lastly, I want to thank my mom and dad. You are the best parents I could ever ask for, and you are my #1 fans. I always feel my happiest when I'm around you, and you both have taught me that being true to myself is the best thing I can be. Thank you for putting up with me for 13 years. I would like to end by acknowledging my Hebrew school classmates. Even though our B'nai Mitzvah year was interrupted by this virus, I'm so glad we were able to make the most of the situation and stick through it together. Thank you again for celebrating this special day in my life as I become a bat mitzvah.
Great job, sweetie.
Thank you.
Doing an awesome job.
My hands are so sweaty.
Sienna, you have done an incredible job today, leading us in the service and sharing your beautiful voice with everyone here. We have friends and family joining us from all over to celebrate, some traveling long distances to be in person, and some watching you shine all the way from the East Coast, even some as far as Spain, Israel, and Argentina via Zoom. Your mom and I are always so proud of you and the wonderful woman that you have become, especially today, for how poised and prepared and enthusiastic you are as you continue this journey forward. You're a natural kid, and you make it look so easy. But we all know how hard you've worked to make this a success and show us how much it means to you. Your Torah portion about Noah was very fitting this year. We, too, spent 1.5 years cooped up in our own ark, like those wild animals, with our favorite four-legged furball Zoe. But while that felt like forever, I realized we won't always have that kind of quality time together, and I wouldn't trade those endless family moments for anything in the world. Let's talk about your name, Sienna. A beautiful name for a beautiful girl. Its origin comes from an Italian city near Tuscany, which explains why you love to eat so much pasta. Your middle name is Susan, named after my mom, your grandma Susan. I so wish that you had the chance to meet her, but I know that she's watching over you every single day. I see so much of her in you, like how your smile can light up a room, and how you see the best in people around you. Your Hebrew name is Shirah, which means song, also named after your grandma Susan. And you share your love of music, and you get your beautiful voice from her, that's for sure. As your dad, I've always had high expectations for you, and you still continue to press me every step of the way. However, even though you're a straight A student, I have 10 C's for you today. You're committed. You worked extremely hard to prepare for this special day, learning your Torah portions and practicing for months on end, even sometimes singing half Torah trope on road trips to Palm Springs. You're compassionate. As a web leader at CCMS, you volunteer your time and share your willingness to help others and make them feel comfortable as new students at school. You're creative, finding ways to express your talents through art and design. I especially have loved painting together, from the early days of making portraits of Elmo at your easel in your cute little smock, to our latest art lessons painting mountain and desert landscapes. You're a collaborator. As editor-in-chief of technology for your school yearbook, you're dedicating your time and talents to help your team and teacher with photography, teaching others how to use software, and giving constructive feedback. You're a captain, a newly honored team captain of your volley team. You're a chef, quite the pastry chef, which our family enjoys benefits of all your baked goods, including your cheesecakes, which is a whole nother C that we could go on and on and on about. You're comical. You love to have a good time, be silly with your sister, who looks up to you in so many ways. You've even recently, you've even taken up improv at school, which is great because you always have something to say. You're consistent, always striving to do your best, but enjoy the comfort of schedules and routines. You're curious. You love to learn, a constant thinker, avid reader, and have a great sense of adventure to explore what's out there. You're a climber. Whatever challenge you face, whether it's a life obstacle, a rocky terrain in Yosemite, or just a big tree in the park, you always keep climbing all the way up to see how far you can go. With all these C's and so many more to discover in your lifetime, I know I can count on you, Sienna, to always do your best to reach the top, and will always be cheering you on as far as your dreams take you. Mazel tov, congrats, I love you, honey.
Thank you.
Sienna, in your speech, you thanked us for putting up with you for the past 13 years. Yet putting up with you has been the greatest joy in my life, along with putting up with your sister. Before you came into our lives, your dad and I never really understood what it meant to be a parent, and how something so small, so innocent, could tug at our heartstrings like you have. We realized very quickly how you had stolen a little piece of our hearts when we dropped you off at daycare for the very first time. You were only 8 weeks old, and I needed to return to my classroom. So, after researching endless childcare options in the area, we decided on a lovely lady who ran an in-home daycare nearby. We took you there, said our goodbyes, and then cried the whole way home. Yes, Dad cried too, probably even more than me. Our hearts ached for a few hours as we watched that clock, waiting for it to finally be time to get you. And after a few hours, we picked you up and announced to that nice lady that today would be your last day. You never went back to that daycare again, only lasting one day. You were fine, we weren't. But that aching feeling that comes from loving someone so much has never gone away. You see, Sienna, you are a gift to our family, your friends, and anyone who has had the opportunity to spend time with you. Your whole life, people have noticed that there is something special about you, something so unique. I could stand here and brag about your straight A's in school, your artistic and creative talents, your inconceivable organizational skills, and your freakish ability to remember things. But those are not the qualities that I find most remarkable. Instead, I want to point out some qualities that impress me every day as I have watched you grow. You are a thinker and have not stopped thinking since the day you were born. You used to lay in your crib at night awake all night with your eyes wide open, and Dad and I just couldn't understand why you wouldn't sleep. We would tell doctor after doctor that you just wouldn't sleep, and yet none saw a problem. And while not much has changed in the past 13 years, and you still don't like to sleep, I now understand what you were doing. You were thinking, and you continue to think and wonder and notice every minute of every day. You have so many brilliant ideas that have come from the countless hours that you have spent spinning those wheels. Another of your gifts is your strength. Life is a journey, and I have loved watching you pave your own path and navigate your own course. But there have been times in your life when you have faced some challenges.
You're okay.
Real challenges. Yet you face them with bravery, determination, and patience.
You're making me cry.
It is this quality, Sienna, that you have, this fierce commitment to yourself, that will allow you to face anything that comes your way. And the final gift that I would like to point out may be your greatest, and that is your loyalty. You are so genuinely loyal and dedicated to the people who matter most in your life. I've often said that you are so much better than my 13-year-old self, and that I wish that I could go back to being 13 years old so that I could have you as my friend. And I mean that with complete sincerity. You are so dedicated and loyal to your family, your friends, and everyone who is fortunate enough to be in your life. Your commitment to the people you care about doesn't waver, and you always show up when it really counts. And your commitment doesn't end with people who are in your immediate circle. I've watched time and time again as you passed out those books to children lined up at your book drives. You didn't just hand out books. You took the time to ask each child about themselves and what they might like reading. You had genuine interest in each of these kids and wanted to help them find that perfect book that they would enjoy, even when the lines were long and there were many families waiting for their turn. Sienna, it is these qualities and so much more that fill us with endless pride today. My hope for you is that you continue to fill your life with people who value the special person that you are. Remain loyal to the people you love and keep family as your anchor. Embrace your history, traditions, and the stories of those who came before you. Continue to face the world with such bravery, strength, and conviction. And lastly, keep thinking and dreaming and questioning the world. For if you do, you will find the answers you are looking for. Mazel tov on becoming a bat mitzvah. You are such a bright light and a gift to us all. I love you.
You made me cry, and I never cry.
Sienna, how are you doing?
Good, I guess.
Take a deep breath again. It feels like just yesterday I was sitting with your mom and your dad at the Coffee Bean in Westwood. This was 16 years ago, more or less, when we were dreaming about standing beneath the chuppah. Here we are again, beneath a chuppah of sorts, as you ascend in this on this extraordinary day. What a sense of pride it is for all of us to be with you. Never could any of us have imagined back then what an incredible young woman you would turn out to be, with Scarlett also as an incredible soul whose bat mitzvah is just a few years away. Sienna, working with you toward today was such a pleasure. We loved it when you would come in and have your meetings, whether it was in person or over Zoom. and it would make our days even more special. You asked a lot of questions along the way. One of them had to do with theology. Why do bad things happen to good people? And more specifically, if there's a God who's watching over us, how can bad things happen? I thought about that for a long time because, well, it's a pure question, and it's one that I think makes sense to ask. I'm comforted by a midrash, a story based on your Torah portion, that was originally shared by a colleague of mine, Rabbi Mark Gilman. He talked about when the birds came off of Noah's Ark, like you spoke about, the raven and then the dove. Well, first the raven went off, and the raven came back with nothing in its beak. But the reason the raven went off is because all the other birds that were there made fun of it. There were blue birds, there were yellow birds, there were birds of all different colors, but the raven was just black. And the other birds didn't learn how to get along with it. But the raven came back, and those same birds made fun of the white dove as well, because the white dove had no beautiful color to it. And the white dove went away, but eventually came back with the olive branch in its mouth. But those other birds continued to make fun of him. And so then that white dove flew away and didn't come back. And the other birds began to realize that they had been cruel, that they had hurt the feelings of their friend. And so the blue jay and the canary and the robin and the parrot and all the other birds of all different colors sent out a search party because they began to feel bad. And they flew through the sky. And the dove who had been far away looked up in the sky and saw all these birds, and it looked kind of like a rainbow. All those birds of all different colors flying through the sky. And the dove smiled. And the dove knew that those birds, working together for the first time, really cared. And God also saw this rainbow of birds, and God said, what a beautiful idea. I'm going to send my own rainbow into the sky. And that rainbow will be assigned to people that if they work together, that I will not be far away, that my promise will be right there. And so, Sienna, on this day of your bat mitzvah, if we ever doubt, where is God? What we need to do is look at the beautiful people who surround us and realize that we all create this rainbow of wonderment. And in those moments when we question, where is God in my life? Just look to those people who you love because they care about you so much. And when you bring books to those who need it, you are adding your feathers to that rainbow in a way that no one else can. Sienna, you have moved mountains today, and you have enabled the rest of us to see just how beautiful the world is by making it better in the way that you can. We are so very proud of you. We're going to invite cantorial intern Liz to share a couple of words as well.
Sienna, you did it. We're here. Look at the people around you who have all been inspired and lifted up by everything you've accomplished today. You talked about how this is hard work to prepare for this moment. You made it look easy. I wouldn't have believed you had I not seen all of the process and know how dedicated you are to making this day amazing as you did. You talked about the books, you talked about the caring community that you create. You bring so much joy to the people around you, and your loyalty and love and acts of tikkun olam, you are the rainbow that is talked about.
Thank you.
You bring everything, you have it in you, and you show it
to your friends and everyone around you. So proud of you. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Last speech. How are you feeling?
Amazing, I guess.
Amazing. You did amazing today. We're so excited for you. So I wanted to say a little bit about your Torah portion. Your Torah portion begins by saying that Noah was a righteous man in his time. And you, Sienna, are not just a righteous person in your time, but you're a righteous person in any time. Your sweet neshama, your sweet soul shines upon everyone that you meet. And your voice, your beautiful voice, helped all of us ascend to the heavens today. So much so that I have asked you to be one of my junior cantors, which is a really big honor. Not very many people I have asked to have this honor, but between your sweet soul, your sweet voice, your presence, your dedication, your commitment, I have chosen you to be a part of this cadre of people. So I'm so excited to welcome you into that group and so excited to continue singing with you and learning from you and seeing your sweet, sweet soul.
Thank you.
Mazel tov, we're so proud of you.
Thank you, Ani.
We're going to invite now your parents and your sister to come forward and take this beautiful talit and use it as a chuppah over your head as we offer you this blessing.
Can you help me? Wait, I got it. Hold the tassel.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's smile shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
Yisod Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. Shalom.
May God's goodness always shine like the rainbow upon you and grant you the most precious gift, Sienna, the one of peace. Amen.
Amen.
Family hug, everyone.
Do I put this back on?
Yeah, put it back on. Your family will sit back down. You're going to stay here. And it is our honor to now invite forward, thank you, Brad, representing the congregation, Lisa Tsamanis. Lisa is one of our newest members of our board of directors to the congregation. Lisa, Shabbat Shalom. Right in the middle.
Switch spots with you. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
On behalf of the Board of Directors and of the whole temple community, I want to welcome all of you to the Shabbat service and to Sienna's beautiful bat mitzvah. Sienna, I want to just say, you blew me away today.
Thank you.
You did such a beautiful job. I can't imagine all the preparation that you did for today. I'm watching my daughter go through it right now. I have a little inkling of it. Just amazing. I know how proud your parents are, and your family, and the whole temple community. I'm really honored today to present to you a certificate of your bat mitzvah to commemorate this beautiful day. And also the temple has planted a tree, share with you this certificate here, has planted a tree in Israel in your honor. I hope one day you'll be able to go to Israel and walk through those forests and know that one of those trees is there for you. Just again, wish you all the mazal tov for today and for every day, and congratulations to you and to your family.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. We have one additional, I'm going to put these down here for now. We have one additional tradition at Temple Akiba, and that is the signing of our special Ladorvador Scroll. This is a scroll that we commissioned a number of years ago, and the renowned artist Mordechai Rosenstein created beautiful artwork for us. It says in Hebrew, Orenu meir tov yoter yachad. That means our light shines brighter together. That's Temple Akiba's motto. And it's blank on the inside, and everyone who becomes a bar bat mitzvah has the opportunity to sign this. So you are going to sign right beneath Sonia Bandy, who became a bat mitzvah last week, and twice below Casey, who was just a couple of weeks ago. Terrific. Mazel tov! Friends, we now come to our concluding prayers, beginning with the Aleinu on page 282, page 282, halfway down the page, and we invite the congregation to rise once again.
Ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
If we open to page 291, toward the bottom, as we prepare for the mourner's Kaddish, we offer this reading. There are stars up above, so far we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember, especially at this time, Susan Gilchrist and Jean Davis. Jane Davis, excuse me. May their memories guide us always with goodness and with love. On page 294, we read together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'yamad divrach chorotei v'yamlich malchotei v'chayechon v'yamechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael bagalau v'yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach leolam u'amei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shemed Kudasha Barichu, Le'ilam min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechamata, Damiran bi'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Osa Shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say, Amen. Amen. Please be seated. You stay here. We've got a very special treat for our closing song. Just about every bar and bat mitzvah that Sienna has been part of on Zoom, her father, Brad, and her sister, Scarlett, have been watching with guitars in hands, learning via YouTube how to play our closing song. And so they are going to be joining in the leadership of, well, Cantor, what are we closing with?
We're closing with the singing of Osa Shalom, which is the last 3 lines of the prayer we just read. And we're so excited for Brad and Scarlett to lead us on guitar while we sing together. We invite you to put your books down because there's a lot of hand clapping that goes into this song.
I'm a little loud. Cantor, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Scarlett, are you ready? Brad?
Here we go. Osa Shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Osa Shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Osa Shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Osa Shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Osa Shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Osa Shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Oh, hold on a second, everyone. Right back. So everyone, let's turn to Sienna and give her an official Mazel Tov!
Thank you.
Wow. And everyone's going to have a little challah to go as they leave, but we want to start with a motzi. So, Burris family, come in the middle. Put your hands on the challah.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon.
Shabbat Shalom!
Shabbat Shalom!
Give some to your family.
Yeah, do not eat it.
Sorry, germs.
And sweaty hands, very, very sweaty hands.
Friends, this concludes our service. Let the joy continue. Shabbat Shalom.